If you ask Vic Henley about performing in Nebraska, he would say it's a bad year if he doesn't. His resume includes performing Comedy Central specials, comedy DVDs, late-night talk shows, even 3 events with the 41st President George Bush Sr. But one of his favorite things is performing right here in Nebraska. He has shows at the Funny Bone Comedy Club through Sunday night.
Hey everybody, Dustin Dale's back here again. I'm at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, 168th and Dodge. It is just before Christmas, and we've got one more great comic for you before we wrap up the new year, or the end of the year, I should say. And his name is Vic Henley. He's no stranger to television. He's been on NBC, Comedy Central, you name it, he's been on it practically. Ladies and gentlemen, Vic Henley.
Thanks, Dustin. Great to be here, back in Cornland.
Cornland.
Never wrong to come to Husker Country. I always love it.
How many times have you been here, do you know?
Oh, man, at least 20.
20?
I mean, the Funny Bone opened here, probably the first one at the different location in maybe 88 or something like that. And I was here the very first year, and I've been here it's not every year, but it's not a 2-year run goes by that I like college football. I've known the owner-manager here for 25 years, so this is known to be a great gig, and it's always fun to come to an A-room, which this is.
Did you say you follow college football pretty well?
My brothers played at Auburn. I'm an Auburn guy. I grew up in Alabama, so yeah, you hate Alabama. You got that whole college football blood death rivalry thing, you know. And Iowa Nebraska is a rivalry, or Oklahoma Nebraska used to be a killer rivalry, but no one got killed at those rivalries. Auburn Alabama, something bad happens every year. So I've always enjoyed. These are the classiest fans out here. I came out here years ago when I was at Auburn to go to a Husker game. They beat the crap out of Auburn and then gave them a standing ovation when Auburn players left the field. And I'm like, these are the nicest people. I can't even, So, yes, I've always enjoyed coming here for play or work.
Very nice. Yeah, we hear a lot about people saying that Nebraska fans are nice, but we never really know it because we live here. So
the clapping for the other team thing has blown teams' minds away for years and years because you come in as an opponent, and if you're used to playing at home and your rivalry beats you at your home, you don't stand up and do that. So it is a testament. I give Tom Osborne full credit. He schooled everybody correctly. It started with Devaney, and then it went to Tom Osborne. It's just like learning how to go to church right.
There you go. That's one way to look at it.
Exactly.
Now, do you have a pick for the college football playoffs?
I hope Michigan State kills Alabama because I hate Alabama. So anybody, but I'm going with Clemson, though. I like Clemson. Clemson is Auburn with a lake. That's a joke in the South. If we were in the South, you would understand. But Auburn University, they're both Tigers. They're both orange and blue. Some of the founders of Auburn helped start Clemson University, and they have a really nice lake at Clemson. So if you're from the South, everyone gets that joke that Clemson is Auburn, where I'm from, with a lake.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
So it's an old inside hillbilly thing. But Clemson is my pick. As the only undefeated team, I'd like to see them finish it off.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
Oh, I can't believe it. Last year was amazing. Really, really enjoyed it. About time.
Do you like the way it's set up with 14?
Well, they're only 40 years late, something. The D2 school in my hometown, Jacksonville State, they're playing tomorrow, Saturday on ESPN. They're in the semifinals. So I've always thought it was weird and crazy that every major sport, men or women, on every level from junior college, determined their champion by a playoff system, and major college football was the only one, the last person to come to the party. And I was going for Occupy the NCAA a few years ago when that was the big trend to occupy. I was like, let's occupy something we can actually affect.
Do you like the 4-team system? Or do you think
it should be more, probably be more, but I'll baby steps. I'll give them. It took them 80 years to get to the 4, so
Very true. Now you've been doing comedy a long time.
30 years.
30 years.
This is my 30th year. July was my anniversary.
And you remember coming back here way back in the early 80s. Do you remember a lot of these cities that you go to?
The good ones you do. The bad ones you block out. It's like anything else, and the good ones you always are looking forward to coming back to. And no, totally. There's a few cities that I think it's a wrong year if I don't get to go there. This is one of them. It's really fun. Austin, Texas is really fun. The Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach is south of L.A. Really, really great room. Comedy Magic and the Comedy Castle in Detroit. There's like 5 or 6. There's only about 5 or 6 that everybody wants to go to. This is one of them.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, very cool. There you go, folks.
Yeah,
he loves it.
You're sitting on a gold mine.
He likes it.
You're sitting on a jewel. Everybody knows it. No.
Now, one of the things you've had a chance to do over your comedy career, you did a show with George Bush.
I did a show with 41, not Mini-Me, not Mini-Me, George Herbert Walker Bush, 41st President of the United States. I did 3 things with him. So over about a 5-year period, I ended up talking with him and hanging out with him like 3 or 4 times. And it was one of the coolest things ever. he was so cool that, like, in the middle of the first conversation, I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were this cool. I would have voted for you. And he's like anything. He just, with the perfect, he's like, everybody says that, Vic. Nothing new. You're telling me nothing new. And he was just a very commanding, tall guy. And he was a fighter pilot and everything. And just, politics aside, when you might have these opinions about some of these guys and you meet them, I was enamored. It was wonderful. He was a really, I called him. He called me back.
Wow.
That's the craziest thing. I left a message at his office because I'd done some shows and the newspaper took some pictures and I wanted him to sign the pictures for me. And so I left a message and I'm like, they're not going to believe this. And like 10 minutes later, he calls me back.
Wow.
And I'm in a hotel room. And I didn't even tell his secretary where I was staying. I just said, I'm in town for a gig. And so my phone rings in my room. And after a couple minutes, I'm like, wait a minute, Mr. President. I didn't leave you. And he goes, Vic, you don't think I can find people when I need to find people? And I'm like, you're the coolest guy in the world. And I'm kind of scared right now, But it was a great experience. I'll never forget it. That's for sure.
That's crazy. So when you picked up that phone, did you instantly scream, it's the president?
I thought somebody was goofing on me. I really, really did. Because I knew I'd made the phone call first. So I knew that I'd initiated a call to his office in Houston, Texas. So I kind of thought maybe. But she told me he was not in town. So when he called back in less than an hour, because I guess she didn't believe me, I first thought, I'm like, why? And he goes, Vic, it's really me. It's the first thing he said. He goes, it's really me. Somebody's not goofing on you. And I'm like, okay. You immediately sit up a lot straiher. And for some reason, like everybody's looking at you. But it was him, and it was cool.
Very good to have president on speed dial, huh?
No, yeah, exactly. He's in my phone under Commander-in-Chief. Yeah, it just says 41 in my phone. That's it.
Now, one of the other comics that you've had a chance to work with, who was actually just in town a couple weeks ago, Jeff Foxworthy.
Foxworthy and Cable Guy, I know for 25 years at least. They were some of the first guys I met and worked with. Cable Guy was based in Florida, and Foxworthy and I used to go down there because we're Braves fans, and the Braves had spring training in West Palm Beach, and that's where Cable Guy started. So the minute we worked with him one year, we would go to the club the next year because we were just trying to see ball games and blend in a little working fun. And we're like, get that idiot that we had last year. I love him. This is the goofiest, craziest guy in the world. And they're like, that's, and we're like, we don't care. Get him in. They're like, he doesn't work here that much. We're like, work him more. So, we knew back then that the guy was special and onto something. But yeah, both great guys. I'm sure they blew it up here and had a big time.
Now, Larry, he's actually a local. He's from Lincoln. Do you get a chance to catch up with him when you come through?
I'm going to watch football at his house Sunday.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I usually try to, if I can't get it during football season where we actually go to a Husker game, then I try to come in and at least squeeze in a little pro time. He's got a great house out there in the country, and it's always fun to go out there. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's loved around here, so I'm sure that...
it's like going to a Husker game with Larry the Cable Guy is like backstage in Bethlehem with Jesus. It really is. It's like walking through Nazareth with Mary and Joseph. I know. So.
Now, early in your career, you did a lot of college shows. How does a college show compare to a club like this?
Well, the reason... A good college show is like any good comedy show. They just say, we hired you, get up there and do your thing. And the bad college shows are what a lot of the guys have been complaining about in the past 5 years is they'll really censor you and not let you do your thing. So they'll see you do your show somewhere that's uncensored, and they liked you so much that they hired you. And then when you get to the campus, they're like, we liked you so much. We saw everything you did. We loved it. Don't do any of that. We're going to get the president to be mad at us, or some kid will get offended, and they'll be writing in. And so it was always that way. I don't know why it came more to the forefront in the past few years, because it's always been that way. So a good one is like any good show. I've done UNO. I've played Lincoln. They don't do it. It's only at some little universities where they're just going a little too PC that it's weird that you get that. We would rather you bomb and just smile and act like it's good than run the risk of offending somebody. And it goes against your all you've ever taught to do is make everybody laugh. You're not taught to don't hurt anybody's feelings. No, you're taught to make laugh. So, that's the biggest difference. It's just the censorship, which you never get in the club.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, do you ever tell them, hey, listen, if you don't like my set, you can call the president. He'll back me up.
Well, they'll threat. Yeah, yes. They don't know who he is. This generation, that was too long ago. The 88. They're like, who? What? I was born in 1997. They really are, and they don't care. They think if you say George Bush, they'll think the other one. They'll think they don't like him. Was he going to bomb us? Yeah, they'll think it's Will Ferrell. That's better said. Will Ferrell's coming.
Now, Christmas coming up. You got any plans for Christmas? Or are you on the road?
This is my last week, and I'm going home. I don't go home every year to Alabama, where I'm from, to Christmas. So I've alerted the white trash family that I will be coming home. So I'm sure they're hard at work making gifts. They don't have any cash. They just get a glue gun and a dream and start glittering pine cones homes. And look, I made you an ornament. Okay, thanks. Yeah, good.
His name is Vic Henley. He's in town all weekend long. It is the Funny Bone, 168th and Dodge. He's got shows Friday night, Saturday night, and then again on Sunday. So make sure you come and check him out. Vic Henley, thank you so much, bud.
My pleasure, Dustin. Come out, everybody. 5 shows left.